fresh off of a bye week. We've got the beautiful Alex Allman. You got me, the South Georgia guy that's rooting. But the Spurs are playing, Alex. How excited are you for the Spurs?
I'm excited about the Spurs, but Vamos Toros, baby.
We got breaking news, Alex. We got breaking news. We got new sponsors. As you see on the bottom of the screen, Pick and Pull, self-service used auto parts in San Antonio. Big Red, the official soft drink of the state of Texas, as Josh likes to tell me. And South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital are our sponsors here, our partners here on Toro Talk. But the big news, Alex, I know this came on right before we were recording this on Tuesday evening, and the news just got dropped. So I'm gonna play it for you. I don't even know if you know about it, but here's the big news. They just made a giant signing. 6'3", 275-pound Ramon Pure out of Louisville just got cut by the Red Blacks. Another big school guy coming to the Toros. Alex, I know you haven't really dug in. The coaching advisor and the notes are not out there yet, but tell me how you feel about a signing 2 weeks into the season. Obviously, he's going to take a spot. I think we know there's a couple of injuries out there, and this might be one of those spots. But to sign a guy like this in the middle of a season in a league that just started out, this is big news, right?
I think it's a tremendous news. I mean, obviously Louisville, a Power 5 or Power 4 school, however you want to look at it, out of the ACC, they've had a lot of success. For him to go up and, have an opportunity to play in Canada with the Red Blacks, it tells you what caliber player this is. And to your point, Webb, I think it's a great pickup. Football is a game where guys are going to get injured, and you got to be able to, work the wires and find good replacements. And I'm really excited about this pickup. Great size. Again, he's used to playing big time football, and I think he'll fit right in on that defensive front.
So he was cut by the Red Blacks last week. You're a big fan of the Canadian Football League. Yes, Red Blacks, obviously, it's a solid league up there, right? It's been around forever.
Yeah.
But for them to bring him in almost instantly tells you that this team is tied to the football community to go get someone that just left Canadian Football League and give him another opportunity right off the bat. Like he's in football shape, right? Like he's been with the Red Blacks, so he's ready to go. It's not some guy that's like, hey, we need to fill the roster spot. This guy's actually ready to go right now.
Yeah, I'd like to take some credit for this, even though I don't think I can. I was on X messaging back and forth with Ottawa's special teams coordinator, Jeff Ronbold, and I put a plug in for the Continental Football League. So, who knows? Maybe Jeff got in somebody's ear, but I got to figure. I think our guys were working the wire. They keep an eye out for this kind of stuff, and it helps to have connections and bring in more talent.
Great size, right? Great size for this league. It's another big. I know we made jokes last week about some of the guys' size on the roster, but it's great to have big guys, especially in a league like the Continental Football League, because they can dominate the line by themselves.
Absolutely, and athletic too. Yeah. That's the thing that's impressed me so much about both of our fronts, but really on the defensive side of the ball is how athletic we are. That front is really, not only good size, but strong, fast, aggressive. And I'm sure this is, a pickup this guy's gonna fit right in and really bolster that defensive line even more.
This is a great move. Our new sponsor, Big Red, sponsors our news segment now. I know you got your own segment. I guess Big Red's my segment, right? Yeah. Because I'm the news guy. You're kind of the coaching guy.
Yeah, so you're Big Red kind of guy too. You kind of have that Big Red aura about you. You're kind of a Big Red kind of guy. So welcome, Big Red. Take it away, Webb. This can be you.
All right. We're going to hear from Big Red, our newest sponsor, and then we'll go through the Big Red news of the week for the Toros.
It's good to be different.
Big Red, deliciously different.
Thank you, Big Red. Deliciously different. That's also how they describe me. I'm just letting you know.
Oh God.
Big Red news of the week here on Toro Talk. The Toros obviously had the week off. Let's talk about that before we dive into the news. Having a bye week so early on the season, yes, we know why they had a bye week. We don't need to go down there. I think we talk about the differences in the ownership groups around the league or since the league started. It gave an opportunity for some rest. As a coach, do you like this early bye week, or would you prefer it to be a little bit later?
I would prefer middle of the year to maybe the second, the last third of the year to get that bye weekend, to get guys healed up and whatnot. But in our case, I think the bye week is absolutely perfect. It couldn't have come at a better time because I think when you look at, we had a short camp, we played a preseason game, we had a week to prep, and then we're into the regular season. We went down to Texas and took care of business. But, we noted on our last show, there's some things to clean up coming out of that game, some more stuff to put in, more focus on the continental shift. I know Coach Bedwell had touched on that some too. So I think getting the bye week in this case early in the year is really going to benefit us to actually have some install time, some prep time, some additional repetition time. So I look for a real big performance when we go up against Tall City this week. Thrilled with the timing of this when we caught a break. I guess the Fort Worth guys had guys staying in cardboard boxes down there. So, it worked out to our benefit. So thank you.
So we had a bye week. Josh and the guys and the team all went to Cactus Land Brewing Company, which is another example of how this team is coming together as a team, right? You've got the owners mixing in with the cheerleaders, mixing in with the team, and they're all every week's an event. Even though they didn't have a game, and they only learned about the fact that they didn't have a game 2 weeks ago, they were able to swing this right on the bye week while the other two teams in Texas are battling each other. Watch the game, but also hang out, have some, a bonding time at Cactus Land Brewing. And Josh loves a good brew.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a great idea. We're off, so why not get everybody together, find a place where you can get some good food and maybe a couple of pops if that's what you're into, and kick back and watch a little football. I thought it was a great idea. Great promotion. You
can also get Toro's merch. As you see, there's a variety of hats.
Yeah.
That you can. Everyone's style is there. You can go to San Antonio Toros website and get the merchandise. Then we go to
or a visor guy.
You're a visor?
No, are you a hat guy or a visor guy?
All right. Can you guess my head size? I don't know. We've met one time.
I'm gonna say it's probably pretty big. I can't tell.
It's 7 and 7/8, right? So when I was a kid, yeah, it's 7 and 7/8 dome here. So like when I was a kid and fitted were in style, like in the early 2000s, late 90s, I can never find a hat. Like I really couldn't. So I didn't become a hat guy, and maybe that's the reason why, Alex, I'm probably going to hold up a little bit better than you on the top.
Yeah, I was a hat guy, and you see what it did to me.
Yeah, so that, it might be a blessing in disguise. I got a full head of hair. Every time I go get a haircut, if I go to a different place, they go, "Man, you got thick hair." I go, "Thank you." But social media team, obviously, even though it's bye week, staying active. You got the little guy trend here. They put Devontae Price down there. Little guy shrinking the guy. It's just a class act, like a legitimate feeling of professionalism for the Continental Football League, and they continued on another day. $50 limited spots are available at Wheatley Heights Sports Complex for tailgating. What do you think about that? $50 for a tailgating spot.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at big time college football, they bring the RVs in, right? And you have to pay for your RV spot. This is great. You have a dedicated spot. You can set your tent up, get out there and, tailgate, turn it into one big party and go enjoy the day and some professional football. First home game, too. I'm super excited about that.
Alex, there's a real question because that I was at Penn State and I used to park cars to get free tickets to the game while I was a student there and all that. Tailgating out of a car, class act or just like clueless?
I've done it so many times I can't call it clueless.
Out of a car? Like you don't go find the buddy with because you do come across as someone that drives like a Geo Metro. Some little
Never
thing.
that bad.
Some little thing.
Never that bad. I think I may have tailgated out of the back of the car once, but now that I think about it, had a Jeep, had some different things. So most of the time I was out of an SUV, but I never did the spread. I was too cheap for that. I usually had a cooler, some food. You just set it up in the back of the SUV and just sit there and hang out, fold out a couple of chairs and that kind of thing.
Fair enough. Well, if you ever make it down to Texas, go rent a car, rent a truck, and do it the real way.
Yeah.
But a little bit of the meetup at the brewery, Cactus Land Brewery. Obviously, the ale is there. Josh and Ace were still waiting for our ale. Just a good meetup. The best kind of events, and we already talked about it, that you can have for a team bonding experience, especially early on, because this team's really been together for 3 weeks. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that fine young man right there in the black polo?
I see it. Would have been worth coming to Texas just to hang out with him and watch a football game.
Real question. Do you think he ever wears the red stuff, or is it just always the do you think he wanted to go with the Toros just because it's black?
He's keeping it black. The man in black, he's close to the bone. That's his color.
Like the syndicate have no chance to hire him, right?
No.
Obviously the Toros are the best organization out there, but the syndicate have no chance just because their colors are orange and blue.
Hey, and I heard he had a lot of input on the helmet design. And if you go back and look at those old Falcon helmets from when he took over and they went from red to black, you're really similar.
There you go. All right, Ace comes on here, the chief marketing officer. It's WeFunder. Go to the Toros Twitter. He's got a very informative of how the WeFunder works. I've watched it a few times. He breaks it down perfectly. Obviously, with Ace, you're going to get top-notch quality even on little videos like this. It's definitely something to go check out, especially if you're interested in supporting the San Antonio Toros and building this brand a little bit bigger. Tickets. You want tickets? Alex, you need tickets? I know you need tickets.
Get those season tickets.
The season tickets. There you go. Go get but June 14th, 7 p.m. Wheelie Heights Sports Complex, the home field now that it's been switched. Really excited to see the home opener. And if you watch the board and you watch the presentation on UFM, you might hear Alex's great voice. Because he volunteered his services for an ad or two.
And then his creative work too.
Then the cheerleaders are performing. The dance team are practicing performing. So it's not just the football players that are performing and taking this the next step up. It's also the dance team. WeFunder, it's bye week, right? So you're not gonna get a ton of news. It's a brand new season. We got the signing, but it just, this is the type of content in the news of the week, especially when you're 1-0, 2-0, right?
Yeah.
This week it's heroes versus villains theme. Tall City, Black Gold versus the Toros. Like, what do you think of that theme?
That's impressive.
Yeah, because a lot of people watching the show and they see you as the hero, and I'm the villain. You remember back in our day with the USFL, like the city of Birmingham hated me.
Oh,
they love Alex's takes because Alex was right down there. But like, I'm kind of a hater.
Yeah, I was always thinking you should run for mayor down there. You gotten probably 2 votes, you and your wife.
Yeah, well, I got to move to Alabama, and that would never happen. They're hiring. This is kind of a big deal that they're hiring a ticket sales rep for a team that hasn't even had a full first game yet, right? Home game. They did have the preseason, but like where they're actually playing at their home stadium. The fact that they're hiring someone so soon, and it's an independent contractor, and obviously it's small business, whatever. But isn't that a great sign that they need more help? Like, because life is busy and they're building this brand. I think that's what I take from it more than anything, is that the Toros are building something very, very special that they have to hire someone.
Yeah. They're getting the infrastructure in place, and they've had a lot of it. And then, obviously as you go with this being new, you're going you're going to get into it and say, well, we got somebody to run the clock for us. We've got somebody to keep stats for us. We've got somebody to do this, that, and another, even, ordering footballs and running the chains. Oh, we need somebody selling tickets. This is a super move. And I think, the Toros are built to last. And I think the key is going to be, and we've talked about on other shows, I think that other teams within the Continental League, new franchises that come in next year, we're all here to help each other out, because as the league thrives, we'll thrive too.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a pretty good blueprint. If you want to do it right, do it like San Antonio. But now we need San Antonio and the area of San Antonio to show up, get out there and support our guys. Ticket prices are less than an Impossible Burger at Burger King. If, for general admission, skip save that for after the game, get a ticket and come out and watch some pro football.
Exactly. If you are interested in this position, send your bio and resume to Joshua Mayer at CoFLToros.com. More tailgate, promoting the tailgate. It seems like it's going to be a rocking party. Tailgate opens up at 3. Gates open onto the field at 5:30. Kickoff at 7. Pro football, cold beer, kids zone, merch, and more. Like it, and tickets starting at $10. Like you said, it's cheaper than going out to eat at Burger King.
Yep.
It's better entertainment. You're not going to regret it later on because you ate too many calories, then weren't healthy, so on and so forth. Heroes versus villains. If you had to choose what hero the Toros are, because obviously they're the heroes in this situation, what superhero are they?
My God, you need my brother for this. He's much better at this kind of stuff than I am.
Me too. I need to call my wife. My wife will tell me an answer, but I could. It's got to be Batman, right?
I was going to say Superman, but is that too? How about Wonder Woman? No, that probably wouldn't work either. Maybe the Matadoras. I don't know. That's a tough one, Dean.
All right, question of the week. Leave a comment below. What superhero are the San Antonio Toros?
Yeah.
Question of the week. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Tall City. They played the Syndicate. We get to see Ohio Valley this week.
Yeah,
against
I'm excited
Cincinnati Dukes, which is the last team to see.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that one?
Yeah, I'll be flipping back and forth a little bit because, Ohio Valley was the kind of coming into this. They have a really excellent program up there. They have a great coach who's, been a big-time coach at Texas Tech under Mike Leach. Had an opportunity to coach in the CFL as well. I'm really curious to see how the Dukes match up against Ohio Valley.
Alec, you don't even have to flip it back and forth. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Yeah, June 13th, Saturday, will be the Ohio Valley and Cincinnati Dukes.
Wonderful.
Game results for last week. Syndicate beat Tall City, who is now the next week's opponent for the Toros, 23-20. And the Dukes beat the Cavalry 54-24. I guess we'll dive deep into Tall City, but do you think, let's talk about Syndicate real quick. Yeah. Do you think Syndicate kind of recovered a little bit and they started to figure some things out because they got the W?
Got the W on the road. So congratulations to them. Can't, anytime you win, it's great. Anytime you win on the road, it's even better. I saw two very evenly matched teams, and we can talk a little bit more about that when we dig deeper. But, again, congratulations to them on the big road win.
There you go. And then obviously the news of the week. When we come back, Alex, we got your pick and pull play of the week. We didn't have a play. We're not going to see Josh drinking beers at the brewery or stay in bed well. We're actually going to show you some football when we come back hearing from Pick and Pull Auto Parts.
Don't want that old car but don't know what to do? Call Pick and Pull and turn that old car into cash. We buy more because we pay more, running or not, and we'll pick it up free. Pick and Pull has the largest inventory in South Texas with over 4,500 parts cars, so we need to buy. Go to pickandpullsa.com for more details. Pick and Pull. We buy more because we pay more.
More to pick, less pull from your budget. Now that's Pick and Pull.
Thank you to Pick and Pull for sponsoring us. All right, Pick and Pull play of the week, Coach Alex.
Yeah. How do you do a play of the week when there is no game and there's bye week?
Yeah.
Let's rewind it a little bit and let's take a look at Andrew Henry, our superstar from New Mexico. And this was in our game against the Tennessee Hornets. Remember in the air raid, running backs have to catch the ball too. Watch this athletic move. Nice move there. Tiptoe the sidelines. May have been out, but we don't have the sideline camera, so we'll take it. Run all the way through. Touchdown. And that's our pick and pull play of the week.
Look at Alex. He's a professional, man. Look at him being able to do a segment 1 week. It's almost like the Toros, right? Like the short training camp. I kind of threw it at you last week. You came up and played real quick. This week, you brought one to the table, and then you were able to do the whole segment without anything. But thank you, Pick and Pull, for sponsoring us.
Yeah, the bye week was good. And to your point, thank you, Pick and Pull, for giving us the opportunity to show off some of our guys.
Exactly. All right, when we come back, we get a short message from South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. We will talk a little bit about Tall City, their game against Syndicate, and then kind of wrap it all in one bow and see how we think this week's game is going to turn out. But first, a message from South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, an outpatient center, is named one of the top 5 hospitals in the state of Texas for joint procedures. Our integrated approach ensures a smooth journey from diagnosis to recovery. We are a tradition of excellence and a legacy of caring.
Thank you to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital for being a consistent, just like the Toros, a consistent sponsor of Toro Talk. Also, a shout out to Big Red and Pick and Pull for sponsoring us too. We just keep getting more sponsors. It must be your beautiful looks.
It's your brains. People tune in. They want to be.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue anymore.
Listen, nobody in the world is going to believe anybody's watching to look at me. All they have to do is look at me and know that's not the case.
So we talked quickly about the Syndicate and Tall City. Their game was pretty close. It was back and forth. I believe Tall City led for quite a bit, and then Syndicate came back, kind of found their groove. Are they two of the same? Like, I'm just going to break it there. It seemed like they're very evenly matched when I watched it. What says you, since you're the brains? I know you just said I'm the brains, but we all know you're the football brains.
Well, I think, yes. I think both those teams look very evenly matched to me. I think when, early in the game, Syndicate, threw a flare pass out there that was a backwards lateral, and Tall City was, jumped on it and ran it in for a touchdown, and give them credit for that. When I look at Tall City's offensive line and compare it to the Syndicate's offensive line, they're very similar to me. Tall City had a really hard time with the Syndicate up front, and I think defensively we're even better than the Syndicates. I think we're probably going to see a carbon copy going up against these guys is what we saw against the Texas Syndicate. From a Tall City standpoint, I think their kicking game, their kicker's got a leg. He was booming some field goals and whatnot. He's got a big leg. He honestly impresses, and defensively, I think they're very much like what we saw with the Syndicate. They're pretty good up front. They're pretty athletic. So I think we're going to see, a similar type of matchup as what we saw in that game. I think they struggle a bit at quarterback, Tall City, throwing the football. They used 2 quarterbacks against the Syndicate and, had a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes. So, I think they're going to have a hard time moving the football on us.
Yeah, I think especially an extra week for Jerry Glanville to get his system into place.
Yeah.
I think you'll actually see the defense get better, which obviously they haven't given up a point yet.
Yeah.
But I think the defense is going to continue to get better, even if they add new parts. They're not adding Alex Allman. They're adding guys that were in the CFL.
That's right.
Guys that played at big schools. Like the Toros continue to hit home runs.
Exactly.
Everyone else hits singles and takes walks. Toros just go for home runs.
Yeah, speaking of singles and walks, too, I think that's probably got to be Tall City's game plan coming in against us. Really the only plays they had success on with the Syndicate were pass plays where the ball came out quickly. They couldn't protect to give the quarterbacks a lot of time. And then when they went to Goodman, I think the number 2 quarterback after Barrett went out, they ran a lot of quarterback draw with him. And he's pretty good, pretty athletic. So I think, as long as we don't get too crazy, they'll do that to counter if we start bringing a lot of heat. They'll probably try to run some quarterback draw up inside of it. So we need to stay disciplined in those rush lanes because I think he could hurt you with his feet. None of their quarterbacks scare me with their arm, though. And I don't think the offensive line is going to give them much time to get downfield. Everything's going to be short and quick.
Yeah. Did you come up with a nickname for a defensive back? Because I think they're going to dominate this.
No, I did not. Maybe put that in the comments too. While we're talking superheroes, have somebody give us a nickname. I'm just not creative. I'm not Ace. You guys are out there like thinking about stuff like that. I'm just not there.
No vamos. That's it. No vamos. That's my nickname for them. No go.
I like it.
We don't go, or you don't go. Whatever the Spanish is, no. Right? It's simple as that. No go for the defensive backfield's name, because I don't think they're going to give up a passing touchdown for a while. I really don't. I could see a fluke running play if the offense gives up the ball deep in like a turnover, but I just don't. I love the secondary, and we talked about the big guys up front. You talk about not having to bring all this crazy heat, and he might eat you up. But if your front four or front three or whatever you're running is dominating offensive lines, does it matter at that point?
And like you said last week too, I mean, we had 17 pass breakups. That tells me guys are where they're supposed to be.
No vamos. No vamos. No vamos.
No vamos. I think they're going to have a hard time scoring. I mean, we had a shutout in the preseason game, and like you said, anybody can break one. I mean, it can happen. I mean, these guys are pro guys on the other side of the ball too, right? But we just defensively we're just more athletic, and I think our front we're a step above. Yeah. We've got good linebacker play, and like to your point, I mean, we've got really solid DBs. We've got some guys that can play.
All right, so we think it's going to be kind of a carbon copy against Syndicate game. Do you see a Tall City even getting better though? Because in the same sense, they're 3 weeks in now. I know they just lost. Yeah. They got some game footage finally, right? They're able to make some adjustments. They've been able to digest the Toros game film for 2 weeks. Do you think Tall City could make this even a more interesting game than the Syndicate?
No, I don't. I don't.
Coming hot.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's about Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. And maybe they'll out scheme, maybe they'll watch some film and they saw something they could exploit for a bit. But eventually, we've got good coaches on our side of the ball too. And at some point you have to out. I just don't think physically that team can match up with us physically. Offensively, I don't think they can. Defensively, I think they could give us some problems. They're pretty athletic up front. They're active up front. So it might be very similar to the Syndicate game there, but offensively, from what I saw of them, I didn't see much.
Fair enough. Any potential standouts for our Toros that you want to see more of, or that you see them taking their game to the next level against Tall City?
Yeah, I mean, I think our running backs have proven they can catch the ball out of the backfield, make big plays. We featured Andrew Henry on the pick and pull play of the week. I'd like to see him get some more touches. He really impressed me in the last game, his ability to run between the tackles. He's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more Graham this week. Price and Henry seemed to get some touches last week. Let's get Graham involved in this thing a little bit more, because we have a three-headed monster in that running back room. And, once they have to worry about those guys, then we can start hitting them over the top with Lance and some of these other guys downfield. So I just think they're going to have a hard time with us.
So you think it's going to be more using the running backs even in the passing game, and they're going to attack like that? Or do you see our receivers actually, catching the majority of the balls? I know the whole theory or the whole outlook for the air raid is to spread the ball out. Do you think it's going to continue to include the running backs, or do you think maybe the wide receivers will get a little bit more than what they have because now they've been able to develop timing a little bit more?
Yeah, that's something I want to see too with the receivers is we didn't separate a lot last week.
Yep.
It seemed like we had a hard time getting open. And when we talked a little bit about the Y sail, we kept hitting the Y on that out route where we leveled their zone and we were able to have the short and deep and then the Y in the middle. And we hit that, to Cardenas a bunch of times for some big gains. But I think the running backs are always going to figure in this thing. And, that like we talked about, the balance in the air raid is a little different than how other teams may look at offensive balance. And the balance is based on the number of touches. So I think, we've seen these running backs catch a lot of balls. I think we'll see that continue. Schematically, I don't think there will be a lot of changes from the offense. I think what we'll hopefully see is a little bit better execution because, your air raid packages are just a couple. You just have a handful of plays and it boils down to, can we run our stuff to perfection where you just can't, we run it better than you can defend it. I'm also curious to see too, with the bye week, what we did from a continental shift standpoint. Will we see more of some of that Canadian waggle? Will we see, maybe a little bit more tempo, and whatnot? Do we handle the play clock a little bit better? And I think having a week to prepare, I think we will.
Yeah. I and going to the defensive side of the ball, I think Obi is going to continue to be the most dominant defensive player and all over the field.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how he continues to grow in Glanville's defense. I am a New England Patriot fan. He won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Like, I'm kind of loyal. Like, used to be a USFL fan when that was around. Liked him there. Played with him on Madden. Like, I kind of – it's unreal to watch him up close and personal. Score prediction. We're hitting the end of the show. Score prediction. Last time I think I got closer on how many points we actually were going to score, but you showed of the dominance with your score, and you were right about that. I was a little bit closer. Are we going to meet in the middle here, or are we kind of going down the same path? So, Alex, it's time. We talked about a new sponsor, Pick and Pull, Big Red, South Texas Spine and Surgical. Big Red is going to sponsor the news, and it's also going to sponsor our score prediction. So let's hear from Big Red first, and then we'll release our score predictions.
It's good to be different.
Red, deliciously different.
Deliciously different. Alex Allman's nickname in college. Big Red score prediction. You want to go first or second?
Why don't you go first this time?
All right. 38-3. You said the kicker is really good. I think this offense, you give another week with Bedwell and this team, I just think this team is completely dominant. I think they are what everyone else is chasing off the field, on the field. And I'm not saying that because they pay our bills and we do the podcast. I think if you actually watch the team, they're dominant up front on both sides of the ball. They have a professional system on both sides of the ball. I don't know if I can say that to the same level for all the other franchises. I just don't. And that's no criticism to the other franchises. I just think, as I said before, Toros hit home runs, everyone else hit singles.
That's it.
And you got Jerry Glanville, who's coaching the NFL playoffs, leading the defense. Bedwell, who was Mummy's right-hand man for so many years in the air raid and the air raid specialist and a quarterback and someone that's played in this type of league, leading the offense. Your boy Will Arndt, even though I didn't pick him, is solid, right? All we talk about the running back room, you're talking three deep. I don't know if the other teams have three running backs on the roster. And they have three weapons right there. You're not even talking about Eccles Looper. You're not talking about Chris Carpenter. You're not talking about all those guys. And then the tight end and the offensive line, it just seems like I want to see them be more crisp and continue to get better. And I just think maybe one little sloppy play leads to them having good field position, and you got a kicker that can kick field goals. Yeah. Now, I hope it's a better game. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we can come on here and we can dissect football. But until I'm proved otherwise, I think it's Toros.
What's scary is you said 38-3, and my initial pick, I don't know if you saw my reaction when you said that, was 38 zip. So I was thinking 38 zip, and you said 38-3, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's you might actually be closer. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say we shut him out, but you make a good that guy's got a cannon for a leg for them. So you're right. If they get a chance, maybe they will. Hey, the one thing we didn't mention either, too, before I give my score prediction, we didn't mention that we saw our first Los Dos in Continental Football League history when the syndicate, I think it was 21-20, took the Los Dos from a very short chip shot field goal. So that tells you what they maybe think about their field goal kicker when you bring a punter in to kick it through the uprights versus kicking it through. But yeah, we saw Los Dos. All right, Webb, I'm gonna go ahead and since you took my 38, I'm gonna go 45.
You let me go first, Alex.
Nope.
You let me. You can't blame me.
I'm not. I think it just shows how aligned our minds are. I'm gonna say 45-0 Toros.
That's scary. If we're on the same page, that's scary.
It's very scary.
I don't know where this podcast is going to go if we're starting to be on the same page.
Scary. 45 zip. Good
45 zip. All right. Write that down. Alex, 45 zip. Bryan, 38-3. Alex, anything else going into week 3? Because you look at the schedule and there are no more bye weeks, right? Yeah. They replaced the other Braves game against the Texas Herd in week 6. You got Tall City, Syndicate, Tall City.
Yeah.
They go 3-0 here in the next 3 weeks. They're in the championship. They're hosting the divisional championship.
Yep.
Like these 3 weeks, and I guess you're right, and I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, that Alex is right. The bye week being early, it could be a great benefit because now you're going to these 3 games and look, man, you can wrap up the division. The season's short. You can wrap it up the Southern Division Championship.
Yeah.
With just 3 good weeks.
Yep. San Antonio, come out and see this team. Get your tickets, buy the hats, get the T-shirts. Let's support these guys. Let's get a lot of butts in the seats and really get behind them because this is year 1 for the Toros. This is year 1 for the league. We're only going to get better. Get on with this team now, bond with this team now, support these guys, and be part of something that's really special.
Exactly. For Alex Allman, I'm Bryan Webster. Alex, I ripped you off last week. I'm going to let you do it. Close us down.
Let's bring it home. Until our next visit, so long, everybody.